Today is October the 7th, 2020. I almost forgot this. I was fixing to lay down and God put it back in my mind about a dream that I had last night. An amazing dream. Like I never had no dream like this before. It started off, I was in space and it was like a whole bunch of Earths. Like at the back, it was like seven Earths lined up in a row. One, two, three, four. In front of that, it was like six Earths. One, two, three, four, five, six. It did that all the way like a bowling, like you at the bowling alley, and then you got the first pin in the front, and then you got two, then you got three. It did that all the way from the seven Earths all the way down to two Earths. I guess one was gone. And at the very back is where I was at in space, hovering over Earth, and I seen that it was infinite Earths, like it was a lot of Earths. And as you go towards the Earths that was at the very front, it was this like a hole, and it had a star inside of this hole, and the Earth was moving towards this star. You know what I'm saying? In space, because this is where this was taking place at in what we call space. And so I'm floating in space and stuff, and I'm seeing all of this, and I started floating closer towards this star. And as I floated close towards this star, I can move, to push myself away from it, but it was hard to do. And I got closer to these two Earths. As I got closer to the two Earths, the star was heating up these two Earths. I was starting to feel the heat from this star. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell where these two Earths was at, that these Earths was like Mars. Like, in other words, it was fixing to be like no more atmosphere and stuff like that. It was fixing to be just straight up rock, nothing else. And I barely pushed away from this earth. I went up. And when I went up and I went back towards the seven earths, the ones that was at the very back of where I started from, but I couldn't control myself when I pushed myself forward, that I floated up and away from all these earths, and I can see the whole galaxy like surrounding this star where the earths and stuff was at. I could see it from the side, from the top. Like I just was floating and I was scared. So I was like, Jesus, Jesus. I just was calling on Jesus' name. I was like, Jesus, Jesus. Then all of a sudden I floated down to the side of this galaxy where like this star was in the center, and I was standing on these clouds in pitch blackness, but it was clouds there, and I was calling on Jesus' name. Next thing you know, this is the very amazing part to me. And next thing you know, when I just kept saying Jesus, Jesus, because like I said, I was floating away. I was floating in space. Like I couldn't control where I was fixing to go. And I just was saying Jesus, Jesus, and I started, all of a sudden I was standing on these clouds in space, and a portal opened up in a circular formation, and a gigantic hand. It was light on the other side of this portal. I mean, it was a bright light. Then this gigantic hand, like way bigger than one of his fingers, was the size of my body, bigger than my body, reached in to grab me to save me from where I was at. And I grabbed a hold to the finger of this arm and this hand that stuck through this portal. I mean, this portal was gigantic, and this hand that was stuck through it was gigantic. Like I said, on the other side of this portal was pure light, and this hand reached down to save me as I was calling on Jesus' name, and I grabbed a hold of of its finger, and it started pulling me up towards the portal. Now, I'm sitting back in the background watching this happen to me at the same time. Like I'm watching myself grab a hold to this hand while I'm grabbing a hold to this hand with a finger of this hand and looking at the portal at the same time. I thought that this was an amazing dream and experience that I had last night. So I'm finna post this not only on YouTube. I'm gonna try to say it the best way I can again on Instagram and Facebook, but I just wanted to share that amazing dream. I believe that that was the hand of God or the hand of Jesus. It was somebody, it had to be, because I was calling on Jesus' name to save me from where I was at, and like I said, a portal opened up and a gigantic arm and hand all the way up until his elbow stuck in through this portal in space and to grab me, to save me. And this happened last night. Be blessed.